Hi, I'm Carmen V. Luciano, and this is the Miscellaneous Vegan, where I share a little R&R, recipes, and reviews. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you like and subscribe for recipes and reviews in New York City and around the world. Today's video is going to be an unboxing and review of the Xtrema pot. So let's first get into the unboxing. If you guys want to fast forward to where I do the review, I believe you should be able to see the timestamps below. If not, just fast forward over to that part if you don't want to see the unboxing. So this is a 360 of the box when it arrives. The opening is at the very bottom, so be careful when you flip over the box to open your package. Xtrema also incorporates their logo on the packaging tape, as you can see. This is the cookware protector that I ordered, and that's just paper to just ensure the box doesn't move during shipping. In the box, you'll find your shipping information, and also they provide some literature for you about your cookware and like a thank you note. You can pause the video at any time if you prefer to read it. So each pot is packaged individually. As you can see, this is the 1.5 quart saucepan, and I'm giving you a 360 view of the box. And now let's open it and see how it comes shipped. As you saw, the saucepan was well packaged, so was the saute pan. My camera died, so I wasn't able to catch footage, but it was packaged the same way the saucepan was packaged. There's no issues with shipping, there was no delays, it arrived on time, and in addition to, it was well packaged where the pots were not damaged in shipping. So again, these are the two pans I purchased, the 8-inch saute pan and the 1.5 quart traditional saucepan. And I just wanted to confirm that it was 8 inches, and as you can see here, it's an 8-inch saute pan. I also purchased the cookware protectors. It comes with 3 separate sizes, and it's great because you can purchase 3 pots and you will be able to protect all 3. I currently have 2, and in the future I will be purchasing the Dutch oven. I will discuss more in the review coming up. Okay, so let's get into the review of the Xtrema pan so that you can also think about purchasing Xtrema and making it your new cookware in your kitchen. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy the unboxing of the Xtrema pans. As you saw in the video, I purchased 2 pans. So let's first discuss the saucepan. So the saucepan, which is a 1.5 quarts saucepan, comes with its lid. And I use this pot to boil water mainly. To boil water. I haven't made any rice yet or quinoa to see how it cooks, but just by using it, I believe that it will be very useful for me in the kitchen because these are the 2 pans that I use. I use a saucepan and a saute pan. So that's what I used it so far. But I know that I'll be using this pan for making my quinoa or to make my rice, or like maybe a soup for just myself or two people. But I didn't use this pan as much as I did the saute pan. So let's get into the saute pan. So I have a lot to say about saute pan because I did use it to make several recipes. I'm going to link below Dr. Burkett's review on the Xtrema pan and if it's worth the expense. She discussed in detail the materials on this pan. So I'm just summarizing that this is a non-toxic ceramic pan. She has done a lot of research on the cookware that you should be using, and that is the reason that I purchased it, because she referred it. I'm gonna link her video below. With this saute pan, I was able to make several dishes. So the first meal that I made with this pan was a chili garlic noodle with beef. And of course I used mushrooms, and she does mention that it takes a while to heat up, but it didn't for me. I have a gas stove and I put it on medium and it heated up pretty quickly. I didn't have to wait long and it cooked very well. It didn't burn my food. The next meal that I made was the mushroom steak and it came out very well. I seasoned it, but what I did notice is that when I seasoned it, and there wasn't a lot of oil on the pan, so it got stuck to the pan. But we'll get into the non-stick portion of the video later on. I also made bread. For the first time, I'm going to share that in my reels for a Sunday. I made bread for the very first time ever in my life, and it came out pretty well. I used this specific pan, the sauteed pan, to use it as a Dutch oven, because in the recipe they say you should use a Dutch oven, but I'm like, this is kind of like a Dutch oven. It's not as deep as a Dutch oven, but it worked. The bread came out very well. And the reason I made the bread was because I also wanted to make this butter bean recipe that is not mine. That's also going to be mentioned in this channel on a Sunday. But it came out very well in this pan, and it was very delicious. So I want to go back to the saucepan. The saucepan I did use to boil water, and mainly I was boiling water for the Dr. Bobby Price detox cleanse. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link that below and his information as well. So let's get into the weight. So she does mention that these pots are heavier than your standard stainless steel pots. They are a little heavier, but they're not as heavy as cast iron. They're much lighter than cast iron. If you have a cast iron skillet, then you know that it's heavy. It's lighter than that. Cleaning. So with cleaning, this is honestly very non-stick. They do suggest that you let it cool down and then wash it. And that's what I did. I let it cool down and then I put a little bit of warm water to soak it for a few minutes, and then it would come right off. I didn't have any issues with it not being non-stick. Heat retention. She also mentions about the heat retention, that when you cook, you can leave it in the pot and it's going to remain warm, which is very true. That's why I purchased these two pans, because they already came with lids. So when I did cook, I would turn off the fire and put the lid, and it would stay warm for up to an hour. I can't say more than that because I didn't let it sit more than an hour, because I would cook and I would wait for my boyfriend to come home. And when he was home, the food was still warm. I want to say also that when I made the butter bean recipe, I went and dipped my bread into that butter bean recipe right after, and I burned my tongue. So it retains heat. So you want to be very careful if you're going to eat right off of the pan, off the stove. So you're going to want to let it cool down for a little bit. I would recommend for you to purchase these because of, one, is non-toxic. None of the chemicals that most pans have is leaching into your food. Okay, so these are the two pots that I purchased, and I also purchased, as you can see here, the cookware protectors. So it comes in a set of 3, and I guess because they want you to purchase 3 pots, and I will be investing in the Dutch oven, but the Dutch oven is $306, so that's for another time, because really I only need the Dutch oven for if I'm gonna make soup or like a big pot of something to feed more than 3 people. But these pans right here, I have the 1.5 quart saucepan and the 8-inch sauteed pan with its lid, and this is fine for me for a family of 3. So I cook for myself, my boyfriend, and my son. And these 2 pots are the only pots that I really use. I had a whole bunch of other pots that I really rarely used every day, but every day I'm using these two types of pots. I would suggest for you to purchase the 10-inch because you would give yourself more space. But the 10-inch is a little bit more expensive. That's why I purchased the 8-inch to see if I could deal with it. At first I was going to return it, but then I said, I didn't want to go through the hassle of returning it and waiting for my pots. I really wanted to use it. So I'm dealing with these 8 inches. But I would recommend for you to get the 10-inch skillet. And depending on how big your family is, then you should just get the Dutch oven and one skillet, or just a skillet, because you could boil water in the skillet as well. You can make rice in the skillet. But just make sure that you purchase the skillet with the lid. And as you saw in my video, I was able to make bread. So you don't necessarily need to jump into buying the Dutch oven. Just get yourself one. Just get yourself this. If you can't purchase these both, just purchase this saute pan, 8 inches that comes with the lid. They have a special going on, I believe. But if not, you can go into the link for Dr. Burkett's, and I believe you get 10 or 15% off if you use her link. So do I recommend you purchasing Xtrema? Of course I do. I purchased it because Dr. Burkett's recommended it. I used it several occasions, and I'm going to continue to use it because these are the only pots I have. I threw everything away because I'm really trying to detoxify my home. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it below. But that is the review of these Xtrema pans. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And always remember, sweeties, be real, not perfect. Bye.